Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi guys, we are from Group 1 from class TPI 3, the fourth semester. We'll explain about culture shock. So let's watch our video.
Today, I went to my hometown in Bangkok, and when I was there, I'm so confused about their language and social habits. I don't know what must I do, but I'm sorry about it. And what happened next?
Oh, I know what happened with you. That is culture shock. So when you go to the new environment, you meet some people in the new culture. So that was culture shock because you are different with them, and there are many reasons to cause the problem with them.
Oh, I know some reasons that can cause.
There are several ways to solve the problem. Let's watch the video.
Hello guys, my name is Siti Hadijah Barus. I will explain about theory of culture shock according to expert. First, the term culture shock was first introduced by Obert. Describe the response that deep and negative feelings of depression, frustration, and disorientation that experienced by people who live in a culture environment the new one. The second, Edward Hall describes culture shock is a nuisance when everything that is normally encountered when the place of origin becomes completely different from the things that encountered in a new and unfamiliar place. Third, Furnham and Bochner said that culture shock is when one doesn't know the social customs of the new culture, or if he knows her, then he cannot or will not display behavior that conforms to those rules. Fourth, according to Littlejohn, culture shock is feelings of psychological and physical discomfort due to contact with other cultures. And the last, according to Alger, said that culture shock is an emotional reaction to culture differences that unexpected and misunderstanding different experiences, so that can cause feelings of helplessness, irritability, and fear of being cheated, hurt, or ignored. That's my explanation. Thank you.
Next part, I will tell about my culture shock experience. Hello, my name is Indawale Sapa. I come from Kutucani, Aceh. I had a culture shock experience when I had to move for study in Medan. A month after I moved, I had a lot of worries. I always wake up at 3 a.m. and cannot fall back asleep for no reason. I worry about many things, such as friendship, lifestyle, socializing to people. I worry what other people think of me. How can I get used to living alone? And of course, I miss the atmosphere of living at home. Honestly, a week when I move, I feel so excited because I do something new. But after a month I moved, I had a lot of worries. Fortunately, it didn't last that long. I got over it. I had many friends that can make me comfortable and didn't make me worried about what other people think about me. I'm glad of that. I try to stop thinking about something that I don't need to think and try to focus on studying. Finally, I was able to overcome the culture shock that I was experiencing. Thank you, that's all.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, my name is Irma Sreni, and I will explain about several factors that cause culture shock, namely as follow. The first is stress reaction, excessive stress reaction, because they have a different culture culture from the one they live in. And the second is personal surprise. Our work surprise will change the atmosphere. It could be in social relationship. And the third is mental health. Usually often sick because of unappetizing eating or being carried away by the burden of thoughts that makes you a solitary person. And the fourth is previous experience with other culture. This is one of the reason why we feel strange to the new area we live in, because of culture difference. They are very different from the place we have lives. And the last is education level. Maybe university education, cultural difference in communication or in learning. Okay guys, I hope you understand that the several factors that cause culture shock. Okay, till here my explanation, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, I will explain the next part. The characteristic of culture shock. First is pleasant culture shock. The initial stage of culture shock is frequently overwhelming positive. Travelers become enamored with their new surroundings, language, people, and food. At this point, the trip or move appears to be the best decision ever made, as well as an exciting adventure. Second is the stage of frustration. Frustration is probably the most difficult stage of culture shock for everyone who has lived abroad or travels frequently. At this point, fatigue from not understanding gesture, sign, and language sets in miscommunication may occur. Small things such as misplacing keys, missing the bus, or having difficulty ordering food in a restaurant can cause frustration, and while it's come and goes. Frustration is a natural reaction for people who spend extended period of time in new countries. During the frustration stage, mood swings and of adaptation. Frustrations are often subdued as travelers begin to feel more familiar and comfortable with the cultures, people, food, and language of new environment. Navigation becomes easier, and friends and communicates of support are established. Detail of local language may become more recognizable during the adjustment stage. The fourth is the acceptance stage. Generally, so something takes months or years after wrestling with the emotional stage outlined above. The final stage of culture shock is acceptance. Acceptance doesn't mean that new cultures or environments are completely understood. Rather, it signifies that complete understanding is not necessary to function and thrive in the new surroundings.
Hi guys! We will explain about our understanding about culture shock. The first will be presented by Rabiatul Adawiyah.
Culture shock refers to the impact of moving from a familiar culture to one that is unfamiliar. This impact includes the anxiety and feelings such as surprise, disorientation, uncertainty, and confusion. For when a person must adapt to a different and unknown cultural or social environment. Culture shock can occur when people move to a new city or country, go on vacations, travel abroad, or study abroad for school. It might include the shock of a new environment, meeting new people, eating new food, or adapting to a foreign language, as well as the shock of being separate from the important people in your life, such as
family, friends, colleges, and teachers.
So, what someone feels when they face culture shock, according to our group, homesickness is the most effective we face in our life. Why we say that? Because in life, during the culture shock, during homesickness, someone feels anger and mood swing and feel irritable and feel unsafe and uncomfortable with the other environment. And they don't know what must they do. They have bad boredom, excessive of sleep, maybe not eat, not comfortable with the other, and they need to go home or find their parents and friends to tell about all their problems. After that, many factors can cause the culture shock. The first is the mental health, personality, and support system. With a good mental health, we can solve our problem that we face during the culture shock. And the second, our personality. If we feel safe, our personality is good, we can solve the culture shock and we can interact with the other people and environment with the other culture. And the third is support system. We need our friends or our family. Although they are far from us, they can give our support, give the mood so we can solve all the problems during the culture shock. And how to solve the culture shock? The first is we can search about all the information of our destination country or the new environment that we will live there for a month or for several months. And we must tell and we must search and we must understand and learn about the culture, social habit, about the food, social custom, all things, all information about our environment. So, if we are in the other environment, we can understand what must we do and
Characteristics that are characteristic of the members of any given society. Culture shock is a subcategory of a more universal construct called transition shock. Culture shock is defined as a psychological disorientation that most people experience when living in a culture markedly different from one's own. Culture shock, some which include: the first is excessive concern over cleanliness. Second, feelings of helplessness and withdrawal. Thirdly, irritability. Fourthly, anger. And the next, mood swings. And the next, glazed star. And the seventhly, desire for home and old friends. Then, physiological stress reaction, then homesickness, then boredom, then withdrawal, then getting stuck on one thing, then suicidal or fatalistic thoughts, then excessive sleep, then compulsive eating, drinking, reading again, then stereotyping host nationals, and the last, hostility towards host nationals.
maybe that's our explanation. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.